This is Tony Diaz, a Librotraficante, and we are coming at you with an emergency broadcast. This is an emergency broadcast because our own Librotraficante Lupe Mendez, Texas Poet Laureate, has been banned. So it's time to stop the censorship culture. I'm going to fill you all in on where this will air and why we're talking about this and how we're addressing it. But Lupe, I don't know if there's a reward for you. If there is, I will not take it. I will not turn you in for that reward. We do have a
Thank you.
Palabra 25 anniversary campaign. That would get us to the limit.
Yeah,
But we
right.
won't do it. Lupe Mendez,
Sure.
welcome to your program. You co-founded the Librotraficantes.
Right.
You're a part of the backbone of Nuestra Palabra, founder of Tinteros Projects. Now you've got an FBI file. So welcome to the show. I believe we're the first media source talking to you about this. Is that the case?
Yes.
And I made you sign that paper. So good.
Yes, that's
Very
a
good.
done deal. It's done.
Tell people the title of your prohibited poetry.
So the title of my collection is called "Why I Am Like Tequila," and I am from Willow Books, which is a publishing house that directly works to publish writers of color and definitely women of color. Like that, it's based out of Detroit,
Strike two
right? Like
in Texas. In Texas, that's 2 strikes. What's the
that's
third strike?
it is because it is in Michigan, which is
Blue state.
a blue state and a blue city.
3 strikes.
It is
In
woke.
Texas. Those are three strikes in Texas.
It's over. So my publisher, and what's crazy is the book isn't new. Like I am writing the tales of this book. This book is a comet that launched in 2019. Like this book has some years on it.
It ran underground for a good 4 years, Lupe.
Like
They were bound to find you.
It's interesting that like the book comes out. I am awarded the 2019 John A. Roberts award for best first book of poetry from the Texas Institute of Letters. Like it's an award-winning book. It's already been it's out in universities and high school classrooms all over Texas and Cali, in New York, like Wisconsin.
You become Texas Poet Laureate.
I'm Poet Laureate. I give my final farewell reading this past Thursday, and I basically was like, thank you to the Texas writers and the Texas community for accepting my work, etc., etc. And then I wake up to a text message on Monday that basically says, unfortunately, your work is now banned in North Texas. And
Híjoles. Well, let's pause there because there's so many ironies there. Right. Of course, I should point out a huge irony that it is, in fact, the Texas legislature that documents you as Texas Poet Laureate. That means Dan Patrick firmó tus papeles. He signed your papers.
Correct.
And you're telling me the day after that term ends, you get banned. Coincidence or not? Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuning into Nuestra Palabra, Latino Writers Having Your Say. This is an emergency broadcast because one of our very own has been banned. This airs, of course, on social media. First, it's part of the Nuestra Palabra multi-platform broadcast. The video will air on fox26houston.com. The audio is edited for KPFT 90.1 FM Houston's community station, which was one of our first broadcast platforms. And then, of course, this will also be edited for our podcasts because we are high-tech Aztecs. And I have to mention this, Lupe Mendez. even though right now we're focusing on the ban, I got to remind our dear listeners from KPFT, thank you for helping us during the 2012 Librotraficante caravan to smuggle the prohibited curriculum from Arizona, which right-wing legislators in Arizona banned. You supported us to be part of that system, to be part of that push, to overturn that racist law, and we all did. I say all that because of your support, we can put on the air what we want the way we want it. And it has to be issues like this because people want to take us off the air, take books out of our people's hands, and silence our writers. So if you can, you need to make a donation in the name of Nuestra Palabra at KPFT, and you can go to kpft.org or old school 713-526-5738. And Lupe Mendez's book is titled Why I Am Like Tequila. I should mention this. If you do live in Amarillo and you are linked to the Amarillo School District, you should tell the administrators that, yes, if you're under 21, you can't drink tequila, but if you're under 21, you should read Why I'm Like Tequila. Maybe they're confused, Lupe. I don't know.
I know there's several spots that I got in the text that said that it was more than one space. And so I say the Panhandle because I don't even know if it's just Amarillo, but it's interesting that I kind of had a feeling that at some point, maybe someday, my work would be banned. I just didn't think it was going to happen this fast. And maybe I'm fooling myself. I don't know. I feel like I was able to go under the wire because the notoriety of my work is I'm not on anyone's major radar. I'm not published with one of the major 5 publishing houses. Willow is an indie press. It's a solid press. It's an indie press. I know I've been able to tour around with the book. I know that it's at the Latino library, the Latino bookstore, at the Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center. I know it's here at Casa Ramirez. Like they always have 2 or 3 copies of the book always in stock.
I should mention that Nuestra Palabra was selling copies of your now banned book, Why I'm Like Tequila, at the BIPOC Book Festival. We sold out of that run. We're ordering more. So, Lupe, mira.
Yes.
I'm deeply offended by this. So if you thought the Librotraficantes were mad when you were banning other people's books,
imagine what we're going to do now.
Imagine what we're going to do now. And again, I do want to mention one thing. My book, The Tip of the Pyramid, Cultivating Community Cultural Capital, I document some of what we did back then, but I want to make something clear. Willow Books Press is in the independent publishing, which is powerful. My books from University of New Orleans Press. I didn't write a corporate product that would presume to say the bans were over. I archived our moment during these cycles of bans. But what I did say in that book is that Mexican American studies would never be banned again. But here's why. The folks that want to silence us, the folks who are pushing this censorship culture, they study us. And what they did is they realized they could not directly ban Mexican American studies because our community responded across the Southwest, across the country, and we overturned that racist un-American law that was engendered by right-wing politicians in Arizona. In turn, they've come up with a whole new approach. So we can't do the same thing we did 10 years ago. And in the censorship culture, they're now attacking librarians. They're defunding libraries. They're suing librarians. They are bullying librarians. And they are basically censoring entire lists of books at a time and depriving students of it. And you did a special panel at the BIPOC Book Fest. What am I missing? Because I think that's the challenge with this new wave of censorship culture. The folks that want to silence our communities or deprive our people of books, they've adopted other ways, including taking over entire legislatures to create laws that vilify intellectual freedom.
It's
What am I missing from the attack?
it's the language. It's it's several ways, right? Like they've made things so broad stroked that it looks ignorant, but it's enough of an elbow in the side that's like like go do the next level of the work. And the next level of the work are the individuals who these become dog whistles, and they salivate to be awful beasts of censorship, and they go in and uh, they take their orders and they're like, okay, yes, and then they go in and begin politicking on smaller levels. So, in this case, for what's happening with my book right now, it's somewhere North Texas. Like, I'm not at liberty just yet to say like specifically what spots, but the fact that it's in one section of the state is one thing. How it could move through Central Texas, through South Texas, through West Texas, like it can happen at different times, and so it causes folks to be ever vigilant on so many different platforms and at so many different levels, right? Like they're
Mhm.
taking over legislatures, they're taking over school boards, they're taking over advisory boards for library systems. Like it's all the different insidious ways that,
Censorship culture.
and it's the entire movement that then chips away ever so slowly at every uh, bolt in the ship that keeps us running and moving, and that's how they're going to do it.
And
That's what
now
they're gunning for.
I'd like to add something as well. And again, in the tip of the pyramid, cultivating community culture capital, one thing that I did mention, and again, we are a movement, we are not a corporate nonprofit, so we don't function like that. So it wasn't as if we had a board meeting
No,
and we said, hey, everyone, we have to contain this oppression to one state. But as we wound up organizing, talking to each other and talking to community members, that became the goal, is to keep that ban of Mexican American studies just in one state. What's been very different now, and I talk about this in the book, is that during the COVID-19 shutdown, the proponents of censorship culture didn't care if their base folks would get sick and get ill and get out of commission. They continued to organize while we did not. We observed all the safety protocols, we went online. So then what happened is that a lot of this, what you mentioned right now, festered and grew and spread to many states. So what we have now then is the censorship cultures in many states. I don't want you to comment about that, but then I want to also talk about the response, because we don't want to leave people thinking that there's not a response. I want you to remember that we adapt. Our communities are used to oppression. The difference is now we can communicate it, we can plan for it, and there's more of us. Lupe, you want to comment anything about the spread of this to many states and all around Texas instead of just perhaps in Arizona,
we
like happened in 2012?
we kind of got a taste of what that looked like the moment we came back after the caravan. We finished the caravan Sunday night, spring break, 2012, and not even. I think we maybe had a few months of breathing room, and then we started getting the whispers that Texas was looking
Mhm.
at some of the same language. But instead of it coming at the tactic of ethnic studies, it looked at comprehensive US history here and how it's taught in Texas. And instead of going after K-12 the way Arizona did it, they flipped around a little bit of the language and they came after higher ed. And so, us having observed and talked and questioned and interviewed and took notes from what we learned from the communities as we caravanned all the way to Arizona, it had to be community response. So those of us that were able to get that bat signal and like pull together, we were able to approach both the House and the Senate, and we divvied up. Like half
Mhm.
of us came in. The Librotraficante members that went to go talk to at that time Senator Dan Patrick, and then some of us that went after Representative Capriglione. and they had penned a bill that would directly limit or ramrod what would be quote unquote comprehensive U.S. history. And they based their bill with very, like, I think the entire bill was less than 1,000 words. It was like a half page long, and they were going to run with it. And they did the bill in both the House and the Senate, and we had to act quick, and we had to do the research. And with the Heritage Foundation at the time had written a massive report where they reviewed the syllabi of history.
That was the National Association of Scholars.
Yeah, right.
That name is very misleading. They came up with that very slanted
report.
And
they recommended in that report that in order to teach comprehensive U.S. history, you couldn't have books about women, you couldn't have books about gender, you couldn't have books about race, and you couldn't have books about class. And so their book list to ban, I mean, within a margin of like 15 to 20 books, matched up exactly with the book list from Arizona. And so again, we kind of knew how to respond on the uptake and the quick move. And now same community response. Like I would always say that community leads the way. Like every time I'm at the moment where I'm like, man, geez, what do we do next? Community's the ones that are responding. Community members are doing it. I posted the other day and said, well, it finally happened. I am banned in the Panhandle. And I posted it on Twitter and I posted it on Facebook. And I've been messaged repeatedly over and over and over by teachers and educators and parents. Hey, where can I get this book? Hey, where can I buy this book? And that's the response. Like, you see a book that's being banned and it's happening in our schools. Then people are taking it in their own hands and they're going to buy it for their private libraries.
But your answer is community. So if you're within the sound of our voices, you are deputized at Librotraficante. I want to break down some of the additional responses. And when we close, we want Lupe Mendez to read one of these prohibited poems. So why don't you get that ready for us?
Done.
But along with those responses, we don't want people to be too frustrated, to be too disillusioned, desanimados. So right now, what we have to do is we have to fuel family libraries. We have to support librarians. We have to get books in the hands of our gente. I want to give a shout out to the Latino bookstore at the Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center. I'm proud to be the literary curator there. I should let you know that that's one of the only Latino bookstores in the state. We'll be continuing to work with them. Additionally, Nuestra Palabra's 25th anniversary is right now. If you want to donate towards our campaigns, you can go to the website, Twitter, or Facebook. But we're going to have several readings from now all the way through Hispanic Heritage Month, October 15th, 2023, when all these efforts will be supported by Sandra Cisneros. She's coming to town to do a special fundraiser to fight censorship culture, to support Nuestra Palabra, and to support the Librotraficantes. So if you do donate to the Nuestra Palabra 25 campaign at the $25 level, you wind up becoming a member of Nuestra Palabra. You also get a ticket to see Sandra Cisneros October 15th. And then if you come in at the $300 level, there's a chance to get to the special VIP one-on-one with her. But what I'm pointing out is we're coming from now all the way through October 15th with different events, including underground library pop-ups. Wait till you see how we build a portable underground library. Wait till you see that. Okay, that's coming. Additionally, Nuestra Palabra has received one of the big read grants. So we're giving away 500 copies of the book Infinite Country by Patricia Engel. She's Colombian American. So we want to make sure that the books flood the market. And I tell you what, Lupe, you're not at liberty to say where your books have been banned, but I want to tell the folks there, we're coming, folks. We're looking forward to teaming up with you. If you live there, please open your arms for us. We're coming. This is time to all of us unite. And again, do not think that these have to be huge events. On your own, When you pick up a book, you're defying these bands. When you share a book, you're defying these bands. And two things: you got to have your family library, and if you once you read the banned book, they can never take it away.
No.
Lupe Mendez, we need you to take it away. So you're reading a piece that was actually first published in the Norton Anthology of Sudden Fiction. I don't know if because it's part of a banned book, does that mean all Norton anthologies are banned now, Lupe? I don't know.
I would say if you have a copy of Sudden Fiction Latino, short stories from the U.S. and Latin America, you probably have contraband literature, because in that collection, I'm not the only person who's on a book ban list. Like, officially, that book at least has like half of its authors banned internationally, because there are authors in that collection that are from Latin America, and this is the same stuff that's played over in different countries and different regimes and different opportunities. And I now it's kind of cool that I'll take this as a badge, right? Like, I'm in that like next level of work that's, I guess, important. And so yeah, if you have that
You're the mind
anthology book,
altering pro. Yep.
if you've got that anthology in your library, take it out, read through it, read my piece, read everybody's pieces, because this is all a sign of our times, as well as things that this things might be banned now, but they're not going to stay banned. And it's foolish for people to think that they're going to move a river to access the things for themselves, when in reality it has to be for everybody. So
So read that contraband poetry. Lupe Mendez
um
reading from his banned book. Why I
what's
Am Like Tequila.
what should run in the mind of a caballero? Read this fast at first, run. Don't start fights, just end them quickly. Stand up for yourself a little. Mind your own business. Never touch the ball with your hands. Play fair. If you have a fist fight, by the winner or the loser a trago. No name calling. Stop swearing so much that spit forms in the corner of your words. Remember to pray with that bocota of yours. Let ladies go first. Open doors for everyone. Pray to a god. Pray to the winds. Pray something. Remember how to act in public. Smile. Don't stare at them with your mouth open. Don't stare at their chest. Work out maybe another half hour. Don't control the conversation. Learn how to dance a waltz. Keep up with the mileage on your car. Stop staring at their chest when you talk to them. Don't be cocky. Remember people's names. Eat vegetables. Once in your life, work a dirty job. Don't mix light and dark liquors like your deal. Watch, choose between the things you love and the one you love for the rest of your life. Battle. Try new foods. Dirty thoughts aren't dirty. Don't expect a kiss on the first date. Only play poker once a month. Learn how to salsa. Don't brag with your friends on poker night. Watch your spending. Be humble. Drive defensively. Don't be so defensive. Someone else tiene la razón. Manual labor cleans your head. Do it often. Study hard. Get good sleep. Take risks with a clear mind. Show some quiet pride. Remember, you come from a cumbia. Learn to cook mojarras para tu tia Juana. Write the thank you cards the day after graduation. Change your socks. Read. Call folks back. Do not get a fake ID from Enrique or Sanjay or Ephemius or Terrence. Change your socks. Read. Read some more. Learn. Write. Run. Stop using checks. Don't flirt by buying them a drink. Argue so that you learn from someone. Run faster, struggle, take a moment and listen to the story your grandfather shared. Let your mother know that you were all right if you have a mother. Know your license number, wear deodorant, don't hit on their friends, learn a new language. If you have neither parent, rely on me. Rely on your boy. Rely on your girl. If you get a chance to spend the night with a pretty someone, exist in the words first, then in the lips, then a kiss in the hips. Only use your credit card, never. Take it slow. Learn to take shots of tequila. Make sure the only tequila you drink is Don Julio. Be there on time. Admire the moonlight. Sleep on the beach at least once in your life. Get your heart broken. Pick up the tab when somebody has a great day. Pick up the tab when somebody's had an awful day. Learn to samba. Remember your friends when it gets busy. Be intimate, especially when you want to run away. Pray as much as your mother did and work as hard as your padre. You got that? No? Read it again, real slow. I'll wait.
That is Lupe Mendez reading from his contraband collection of poetry, Why I Am Like Tequila. And we're putting a call out to all Librotraficantes. We'll be spreading mind altering prose and poetry throughout the state and throughout the country. And of course, we've got allies coming in. This is all leading up to several readings, several pop up underground library events, and also October 15th, we'll be joined by Sandra Cisneros here in Houston as she supports us. We got some more surprises with you. And Lupe Mendez, I don't know if this means every word you utter is banned too.
Probably.
But on the way out, and any words to fire folks up, porque a lo mejor están desanimados, a lo mejor creen que estamos perdiendo, pero claro, ese no es el caso.
I find it interesting that the information about certain things that are happening, especially in schools and in libraries, is hitting now in May. And so what I think people are doing is they're maybe thinking that this is going to chill out some movement. And in reality, no. You take that time this summer. You rest, you prep, you research, you have whatever drinks you're going to drink. You sit by the beach or the lake or a nap or a hammock, and you be ready for hot August so that we can get back to the work we need to do, because it's never over. Every single day doing the work.
And I want to remind folks too, Saturday, June 24th, we're bringing to Houston 150 Mexican-American studies scholars, teachers, students, and allies. It's the Mexican-American Studies Summit, K through 12. It's the 8th annual summit. The focus is Mexican-American literature. Your book will be available there. We're going to make sure some of the curriculum guides you've written, we're going to give away curriculum guides on how to implement Mexican-American studies. Those are donated by the Latino bookstore. Diana Lopez, whose book is one of those that we have a curriculum guide for, will be there. We're going to have Ron Castro be giving a talk. He's actually done a curriculum guide for my book, The Tip of the Pyramid, Cultivating Community Culture Capital. We're going to have books, writers. We're going to unite. And like Lupe said, no time for us. Es un party. Este party sigue. And we're going to spread this mind-altering prose throughout, Lupe. Thank you, Lupe. Lupe, you've always put the work in. You've put others first. I am proud that your FBI file has now gotten thicker.
Yo. It's awesome.
Thank you for changing the world, brother.
Thank you, sir, for leading the way.
Librotraficantes!
Forever.